Well, it says we're live. Let me see here. Chat replay. Save. Back. I'll go over here. Edit this. Go here. Save. All right. We've been on for a minute now. I've been quiet. I've got to go through all the business of YouTube whatsoever. Let's see here. We want to go here. Welcome to our Friday night edition of the Hangout. Let's see, zoom out a little bit. There we go. I don't know why that thing's like that. Oh, shoot. I'm glad UPS dropped off this order before I went online, because then wouldn't have went down. It'd been sitting on the porch. I got my new order of balsa wood from National Balsa. Feels very sound, very solid. So we're going to see what we got here. I guess the two outer pieces are basswood again, so that's good. They got to know by now that I'm going to show everybody what I got. They better not send me any garbage. They do send me each time a couple nice pieces of basswood to protect this stuff. It's either basswood or super hard balsa wood. I don't know. I got this piece. Hey, Gary. Yeah, this is a nice piece of basswood, pretty stout. That's why it feels so heavy, this thing. So I got two pieces of basswood, one on each side. So I won't have to buy any 1/8-inch basswood for a while, because I have like 6 sheets of this stuff. This is pretty heavy. Here's another one right here. Here's another one right here. So it don't feel bad. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Only got 20 sheets. $136 for 20 sheets. That's unreal. 1, 2, 6, 8, 10. Yep, 20 sheets. 3/32 and 16th. So this amount right here would build 2 nice wings. I'll weigh it later. What's going on, Gary?
Oh, no, just trying to make it, I guess. Here you sold some airplanes.
Just one.
Oh, just one?
Yeah.
That's better. That's better than 9, isn't it?
Yeah. I got another guy asking me to build him one for how much. I don't think he's going to do it. I want $1,000 to frame it and $1,000 to paint it. So if he does, fine. If he doesn't, that's fine too.
Yeah.
What's up, Steve?
Yeah.
Not
You
almost
get anything?
I got you.
trying to get a look at the new lines on the airplane there. It
Oh.
still gets more on the bottom, right? Like a bottom block.
Yeah.
What do you think, Gary?
It's looking good. I think it'll be fine. The end result will look good.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Yep. What made you decide to move that canopy back?
Didn't look good. Not to me anyway. And I'm not quite exactly sure where this is going to be.
As time goes by, it's going to get smaller and go further rearward and smaller and further rearward.
Possible.
And it's going to end up green and have a turtle duck going to
No, I don't think
It'll
so.
probably be green, but I like it up front where you had it before.
Like that?
Oh, no, not where you just had it when I showed up. That looks like a Blue Angel almost. Yeah, somewhere in there.
That's about where it's going to go. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's going to be a smaller canopy than that. Oh. And I got to get my finger man in there.
You can't come. There's a whole bunch of people that are 3D printing Trump figurines online.
Is there really?
Yeah.
There's my finger man, see?
Yep. I don't know much about, I haven't played with the 3D printing, but odds are they're not optimized for lightweight. So.
Well, I don't know. I got a Snoopy here that one of the guys printed me and off of the hangout here. It's pretty light.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can print light stuff, but I imagine just your general, if you just go online and look for a DJT figurine, they probably didn't think about it being light, you know.
This is Snoopy. Oh, wait a minute.
See if Steve's wife will carve you a Trump.
I got one. I got a carved pilot from her already.
Howdy.
There's my.
There you go, Snoopy.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use him. I'm going to use him.
On the edge is a bird. Oh, Lord. oh, man. I don't know. I don't know about that. Lord have mercy. Where did you get that?
I don't remember.
That's pretty slick.
I'm going to have to paint his glove black, though, I think.
That sort of show. Oh, that's bad. I mean, that is just bad. Oh, I like it.
The
That's something
poor
I would
judge.
do, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect that of Sparky.
Poor judge when he's a judge in the plane and looks in the cockpit.
Right.
I don't think this cockpit's exactly right.
Be, clo- be close enough.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty slick. Wait a minute. Why is the canopy way back there?
Because I moved
That's
it
not.
back.
Are you gonna build it with a canopy there?
Yep. Right.
Oh, you rascal.
Right there.
Oh, you cut the other one out. I see it. Yeah, okay.
I cut the nose off and redid it.
Looks like a nice front there. Front and the canopy, the way it is.
Yeah, it's a pretty airplane, but Sparkies usually are.
I don't know that I'm going to have this piece on it either.
Oh, that looks good. Well, it looks good without it, but it looks good with it. I always loved sub fins or sub rudders, whatever you want to call them.
Before I glue all this stuff together, it'll sit a couple of days and I'll make up my mind. Because when I had the canopy on the nose, I let it sit overnight and just say, that ain't it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I've seen some planes, doing there where the canopy's way up front.
Yeah.
If I would have designed it as a jet, to begin with, but really didn't have the profile of a jet airplane. Got the profile of an airplane like this.
Mm-hmm.
Has the wingtips of a jet, but so we'll just make
It's
it
just whatever
generic.
you like. It's just whatever you like, Sparky. That'll work.
This is just a generic airplane with square tips and generic. Don't everybody talk.
Do what?
So don't everybody talk at once.
Oh, we wouldn't do a thing like that. That'd be rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you
Well,
guys
looks like
got
you.
off the training the other night.
Yeah.
Steve and I stayed on there, and I showed him outer zone and aerofred and hip pocket aeronautics. He didn't realize all those plans were online everywhere.
8, 11.
Wait a minute. Let me find the pencil because you mentioned one I don't know about.
8.
Yeah, my wife cleaned my desk up. Now I don't have a darn thing to write on in here. I'll be doggone. She literally cleaned everything.
Oh,
Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
not bad. Seven. Nine. You're welcome.
Stay with Dad.
Oh, Lord.
Hold on a second.
Okay. Now let me see if it's spin rights. All right. Outer zone.
Yep.
UK, I use that all the time. Then hip pocket,
Hip Pocket Aeronautics.
What, how about it? Okay. No, Jason.
UTICS. Hip pocket aeronautics. What's the other one?
Aero Fred.
Fred. FRED.
Yep, like the guy's name.
If I can't get back to you,
I'll check those two tomorrow. I do outer zone all the time, but I didn't know about the other two.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
7 to 11.
Not even here. It's only 8:15.
7 to 11.
Yeah, you and Gary are both ahead of us there. It's only 7:15 here, thankfully.
Yeah.
I was almost
Yeah, but I'm
knocked
warmer
off
than
the
Gary.
third.
I'm warmer than Gary is, and it's 28 degrees here. What is it where
colder,
you are,
Gary?
Gary? About 10?
No, I don't think it's that cold. Hold on a minute.
It was real cold yesterday in St. Louis, but it's 32 right now. Here it's warmed up quite a bit.
It says 27, I guess.
Oh, that's right. You're not that much colder than us then. I've got a
Sparky wanted
cousin
to
that lives
go flying
lives in
today.
Minneapolis, St. Paul, that I've been meaning to come see for years. Hadn't got back up there yet. I'm gonna try to get up and see her next summer. I've got several pretty cousins, but I have one that is up in that area, and she and her
Gorgeous.
sister. Well, she and her sister are both two of my favorites. They're both
That's
sweethearts.
good. Yeah.
But her sister lives in Tennessee, and I get over and aggravate her as often as I can, and want to get up and see Barbara again. I hadn't seen her in a long time. I grew up telling everybody, I don't know whether they named the modeled the Barbie doll after Barbie or named Barbie after the Barbie doll, but she looks like a life-size Barbie doll.
It's blessed.
Yeah.
7.
Sparky, what are you doing?
Weighing my new wood.
Oh, you got some new wood in. Cool.
Yeah.
I've got to get in touch with somebody and order some wood here pretty soon. I'm laying out wood, trying to get stuff together to do the Trailblazer, finish up the Trailblazer, and I'm going to have to order a bunch of wood because I don't have near enough good wood to build it.
Do you have a favorite place to buy wood?
No, I don't. But a friend of mine was telling me that if I would get in touch with him, he would order some for me through Bud Notion Models. Now,
I was
whether
gonna say, that's where I've been ordering my wood.
yeah, he says
You have
that
Does he have I guess he has an account with them then.
yeah, he has an account with him. He's a kit builder.
Okay. Well, I opened an account with him. I mentioned that I have commercial drone company, and I opened an account with them under the guise of, needing wood for prototype airframe. They didn't question me, I just
Yeah,
told them I was a UAV builder in order from them. And I would say the contest wood, if you bought 20 sheets of contest wood, you probably get 7 or 8 that would make Sparky happy. And maybe like 16 of them are truly 6 pound or less. And then you're going to get, 4 of those 20 sheets might be 7 or 8 pounds. But
yeah.
they claim that the mills in 2024, the mills no longer consider contest lighter than 6. They consider it lighter than 8 now. And they kind of tell you that up front. So
Well, tell them you're not dealing with the mill, you're dealing with them. You're paying for content for hand select wood. See, that's the thing
Well, you
the
aren't paying-
company that I
you
was
aren't
dealing
paying
with.
you aren't paying for hand select wood.
Well, when I was ordering from the other company, I was.
Yeah.
And I was paying an extra $1 a sheet to get hand select wood. And I was
Yeah.
ordering 60 sheets at a time. And So at $60 for this order that I'm paying extra to get this wood. And then it come in, and one piece of it was a piece for a top block. It was before I learned about molding. It was a piece for a top block that was 1.5 by 3.5. I think it came as 4, but anyway, 1.5 by 4 by 36. I ordered 48. I got 36. But honest to goodness, you can make a ball bat out of that real easy. It would have made a really good Louisville Slugger. It was heavy. So I didn't even open the box. I got the box, and a mailman came and he delivered it to me. And I did this one time, and I said, just send this back, please. He said, what's the matter? I said, I didn't order that. I said, that's walnut. I didn't order that. I ordered balsa.
Walnut.
So he sent it. They mailed it back, and the company called me and he said, I don't understand the problem. So this says that they tried to deliver it and you refused delivery. I said, weigh that box. He said, what do you mean? I said, weigh the box. I paid $60 for hand-picked 3 to 6 pound wood. There is no way that box in total should weigh more than 6 pounds. It weighs about 14. I just caught a 12-pound bass the day before, and I said, that box was heavier than my bass. And I won a tournament and a bunch of money off that fish. That box is too heavy. There's no way that can be contest balsa unless you wrapped it in walnut.
Well, here's the report on this. This is National Balsa. So far on the 16th, I got 1 7-gram piece, which is in the 3.5 pound. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 8-gram pieces, which is it still, way under
Still
5
good.
pounds.
What size sheets are these, Sparky?
16th by 3 by 36.
Yeah.
I got 2 sheets at 9 grams.
Ooh.
And 1 at 11 grams. The 11-gram wood, 9-gram wood is 5.08 pound. So let's see what the 11-gram is.
Yeah, it's still better than 6 pounds. 12
Yeah.
grams is usually when I go scrounging at the Hobby Lobbies around town or Schaefer's, I take my scale with me, and I usually buy anything that's 12 grams or better.
Yeah.
Or 12 grams or lighter, I should say.
Yeah, I got one
I
piece
just-
at 6.21 pounds. Now that's on the 16th.
What
I just take this scale with me. I've been doing it so long, I can tell if it's 4 pound or less. That's
yeah,
what I'm after.
what are you giving for a sheet of that stuff from National Balsa?
It was
Remember?
$138 for 20 sheets. Who's ruffling around?
Gary.
$5 and
Yeah.
$120. That's
What?
$6 a sheet.
Yeah.
Right at $6 a sheet. Wow.
Yeah, it's cheaper than that at Bud Knows, but it does seem like everything you got was 6 pound or better. Whereas, like I said, I think I sent you some pictures when I got that first order. I think, didn't I, Sparky? I had all the wood laid out with all the weights and stickers on it.
No, I don't remember. 14. Tell
I
me
was
what
fussing.
Tell me what the what this is. 3/32, 14 grams. 3
Hang
by
on.
36.
That's about 4 pounds.
It feels like decent wood. Yep, 14. I've had it lighter. 13.
So, you said it's 093
Yeah, 3/32.
and it's 3 by 36.
Yeah.
3. Whoop. 36 by 3. And what's it weigh?
Well, the lightest one is 13 grams so far. 14
So-
grams
The
average.
13 gram is 4.93.
Yeah, 14
Yeah.
is what?
Uh, 14 is 5.31.
Yeah, that's what I got the most of, 14 grams. Here's a 13.
What's it like in terms of straightness and good grain
12.
and all that?
Great. Got one piece of 12 gram wood. So this is a
4.55.
that's enough to build one wing or two wings, maybe.
There you go.
Depending on if you build an I-beam or well, he don't build lumber wagons, so forget that.
And if I'm going to build an I-beam, I need some 1/8-inch wood.
Yep, for ribs.
Yeah.
I just want one of your darn spars that stays straight.
Go down to the lumber yard and get some white fine.
You ain't gonna get, you ain't gonna sell me that. Tell you what I did, what I bought, and what I'm thinking about using. I bought a, it's a ruler, a yardstick.
It ain't long enough.
No, it's not, but it's, I was thinking about taking two of them and piecing them together in the middle.
Yeah, you do that. Except it's going to break right there in the middle. It
Well,
needs
not
to
if you
be
cut
one
it.
solid run.
Well, it does, but if you cut it this way, you put it together and then put 1/16 plywood on each side of it, it's probably gonna be strong enough. I cut holes in the plywood and cut stress relief in the end of it and all that stuff.
Wayne
I
Rice
did
says
that to
hello, like given. Tony Dallas says hello, like given.
I wonder what's happened to Minnesota Modeler. I hadn't heard from him in a while.
Guess I don't know that guy. Who is that?
I don't know his name, but he used to come on. He used to talk to us a lot. And we were talking one night, and I needed a motor for a plane I was working on, playing with. And he sent me a OS 46 LA.
Huh.
But he has a dragster. If it ain't a dragster, it sure should be. He sent me some pictures of a car or two that he's got, one that he had and one that he's got. And the man likes dragsters as much as I do. He's got some nice cars.
I think
I
he
used to
lives in
love
Utah. I think he lives in Utah, and I think he has some
Utah.
health.
Health issues? That's
Yeah.
a shame. He had a big block Mopar with I
There's
think
Mike.
it was Mopar
Mike
with a
who?
blower on it. Yeah, there's Mike with a blower on it. That thing looked some kind of mean. I used to have a super stock Duster when I was much younger and before I got married, and that was a lot of fun to play with. But I had a lot of friends that helped out with it too. How are you, Mike? You're muted, by the way. He says, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
You're still muted, Mike.
I know. I got Star Wars blaring in the background. I needed to turn it down.
Oh, okay.
What's happening?
Sorry. Ain't much going on. How you been?
Good. We're having a shop night, doing some repairs and scavenging equipment.
Somebody had a haircut. Look at him.
Oh, the
He
kid,
looks
yeah,
civilized.
yeah.
He looks civilized.
He cut it all off about a month ago.
My goodness. Did you ever get your uh-oh.
Oh yeah, big oh man, big plane.
Oh, that was a nice one too. That was a laser.
Yeah, transmitter shut off in flight.
Uh-oh. That ain't good.
It had some kind of glitch. The transmitter shut off and it went full throttle from about 100 feet straight into the ground, tore it up. 37 flights on a $1,400 airplane.
Ugh.
Whose laser was that?
That was Sam's laser. It's Extreme
I mean,
Flight
okay.
67. Extreme
Well,
Flight
was-
67-inch laser. Yeah, he just got it
That
this
was-
summer. He was just
that was
starting to
nice.
get comfortable with it. But yeah, it was a transmitter glitch. I sent the transmitter back to Horizon. I actually just got it back today. And I can see that they tested it because there's a test program in there, but they didn't put anything in the box that said what the issue was or
Oh,
if
they
it's
never
fixed.
do.
Dude, I gave up on Spectrum a long time ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been flying it for a lot of years. We haven't had any problem. And this transmitter is like 5 years old. So I'm not blaming it on blackout or losing signal. The transmitter literally shut off in his hand. It just shut down. It wasn't a receiver problem or anything like that. But it was just a shame that it was a brand new airplane. So we're
Yeah, once
scavenging
one of those-
pulling all the servos out of it and all that stuff.
Yeah, once one of those shuts down, even if you can get it to come right back on, it's not linked.
Well, no, they're supposed to. They're supposed to link back up, but the transmitter never turned back on.
That's
So
a shame.
Battery issue, maybe?
no, brand new, and it's the upgraded 6,000 milliamp battery. It's not the 2200 that comes with them, and it's a Spectrum battery. It's not a cheap battery, and it read. It's only a 3.7 volt system, and the battery read 4.01 volts. It was almost a full charge. Well, it was over technically a full charge, but when you charge them up, they usually read like 4.2. This one was at 4.1.
What I'm talking about is an intermittent connection, to the battery.
It was either that or a bad switch. So, of course, I got on the forums and talked to a bunch of people about it. And a couple guys have said they've actually had bad transmitter on-off buttons that wore out over time. And it just could have went off. Or, yes, a bad connection in the transmitter battery.
Yeah.
We'll never know. I don't know.
Is there any
Yeah, no.
chance that Sam's just such a hot pilot that the radio couldn't keep up, so it gave up?
He's a pretty hot 3D pilot, I'll say
Yeah.
that, man. He's doing pretty good. But no, it's just one of them things, man. It's a piece of mechanical equipment and they fail from time to time, man. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I didn't, there was a big keyboard war about Spectrum versus Jetty and Futaba and FR Sky and all this crap. And it's like I'm not just gonna give up on Spectrum, man. They're all
good.
machines that are made by man and they're electronics and things. It's no different than your refrigerator motor burning out, man. This
Yeah.
stuff breaks, man. It just breaks.
You just got to
Yeah.
remember the radio waves only travel at the speed of light, so sometimes you just got to slow it down and stay smooth.
No, slow it down. Yeah, he wasn't doing anything stupid. He'd just come out of a maneuver and was flying level at 100 feet, and then it just gone. And he's doing the old fashioned holding the radio up in the air thing, that I taught him a long time ago, and there was nothing he could do, man.
Except watch it.
Except watch it, and
That was pretty torturous too.
yeah, it
You
was.
messed it all with that foamy control liner.
Yeah, actually, I got it. I was going to show it tonight. It's done. I have not flown it, but I finished it. And Dennis sent me the the Brodak Gladiator power package. So that's what we got on there with a what do we got? A 30 amp ESC, and I guess that's a it's a FM1C timer. What's that? Is that a Huben or is that
I believe
That's a Huben.
That's a Huben, yeah, with the dial in stuff. So
Yeah.
Went together pretty good. It's pretty funky, man. This bell crank setup, man. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a push rod on both sides. On that side,
That's wild.
for the flaps, you can't see that one because it's just a wire. But then the push rod for the elevator is, so you could technically build this without flaps. You could, just tape the flaps down or glue them in place. But and then there's just a carbon fiber rod going across on a joiner to some plastic pieces. So
I bet
Well, that's pretty
it
slick.
really wouldn't need flaps, I bet, but it's because those wings are cut already for ailerons. It probably would
exactly,
they had
exactly.
just as easy to hold
And
it
then
Has
still.
anybody flown that airplane control line?
yeah, my friend Stan out in Oregon has one.
Dan
Um,
Powell?
no, it's Stan Bulgogi is his name. He's an old skydiving friend of mine, man. I jumped with him like 20 years ago, and then he popped up on the forums on control line flying out in Oregon, flying in Roseburg with those guys. He flies out there, where the Northwest Regionals are.
Mm-hmm.
And he was, and I never knew he flew control line at all, because back in the day when I knew him and we were skydiving together, he was a factory pilot for Kyosho helicopters back then.
What's his
But I
name?
guess since it's Stan, and I do not know his last name. Bulgogi is a moniker that he uses on Facebook. I cannot remember the guy's last name. But
The
since
reason
he's
why I ask is there's a lot of flap on that. I'd be interested to know how it flies.
well, that's what I was going to tell you. So anyway, long story short, Stan, this guy that I know who lives in Roseburg, and I guess he's out there flying control line with those guys now, and a little RC too, because they fly RC at that field as well. His wife just started flying control line, and he put up a couple of videos of her flying this airplane. But the reason I wanted to make the change to the bigger motor is because I saw his airplane a couple of months ago with the stock motor that they sell for it and battery, and it looked anemic to me. It looked just not enough to do everything you want to do.
Yeah.
So that's when I was talking to Dennis and Steve, and we're like, let's power it up with a Brodak motor and put a 3S on it and see what we get out of it. So the stock version looks like it flies like an indoor RC foamy, very slow, and and
Are
on
there any
shorter lines too.
provisions that you could change the flap elevator ratio?
Yeah, there's two holes for the flap wire, so you can go to the outside or the inside, to give you a little more.
Least
I
amount
have,
of flap movement necessary for that. Them are huge.
yeah, I got it on the inside hole. I mean, I don't think you'd want any more, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was thinking you'd want to, if you a way to dial it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually you could too. There's a quarter inch. You could bring that wire even closer to the center point of the bell crank and really tone it down if you wanted to. And I'm already there's only one hole for the elevator horn, and I'm on that. And there's only one hole at the bell crank, and I'm all the way out. So it's got as much elevator as it's going to have.
How long
Without,
of lines are you going to start with?
I'm thinking we're going to just go right to 52s on this, because with this motor and a 3S battery, we were flying the Gladiators in our backyard, this basic power package on a combat wing, half A combat wing, and it was zipping along pretty good. Now, obviously, this is bigger. It's got more wing area. It's heavier. It's going to have a lot more drag. So I think I'm going to do 52s and then just play with the prop to get what I want out of the lap time,
Cool. I'll be excited to see video of that.
Yeah, I've just been waiting for a time to fly it in the backyard, but anytime the weather's good, we've been at the RC field flying. So, and it's just too damn cold right now. We're in a big cold snap, but it went together fairly easy. It was just like a one night build, man. Really.
That's
Is
what was
Dennis still around, or is he on vacation, or what? I haven't seen him in a couple of months.
I've been texting him. We've been texting each other about this airplane, basically. And this thing was stupid expensive too, man. Do you remember the night I ordered it, Steve? I think you were on. I think it was like $160 or something like that, man, with shipping.
make some templates. You can make them spit them out real quick with political signs. You know.
Well, no, I mean this is half-inch Depron or
EPP. It's
EPP. I'm
actually
not.
yeah,
It's
it
EPP.
should be EPP. I don't think it's Depron. Hopefully, it's
Yeah,
not. It'll be pretty fragile
it's
if
not.
it's Depron.
It's EPP. But I mean, it's pretty well thought out for guys that build RC planes and don't know anything about control line, other than the wacky way they did the flap hookup. But I can see RC guys doing it this way. And it's such a light you would not build any other type of control line airplane this way, but a foamy, you would, I think. And it makes sense. So,
What the
Is
weigh
the
about
prop-
6 ounces?
I'm not sure. Sam, why don't you go grab the scale?
Is the prop hard mounted or is it on one of those O-ring prop savers?
No, I got it hard mounted. You could put a prop. I mean, if I was teaching someone to fly, I'd put a prop saver on it. But for us, I think we're pretty safe from dorking it in.
Yeah.
Battery probably going to weigh more than a damn airplane does, man. To be honest with you.
I'd say all up, it's with the battery, it's probably 8 to 9 ounces. Just by looking at it.
We'll see. Well, it's at 10 right now without a battery.
So it's 16. Or no, it wouldn't be that heavy. 14.
Yeah, it's 10 with a battery, or 10 without a battery. Dennis said a 3S 1800 is what I should probably fly it on to get the full pattern out of it. And problem is, I don't have any 3S 1800. I got some 3S 1200s, a couple of 14s, and then my batteries go up to like 2200. So I'll probably be flying it with a 2200 at first, which is going to be way heavy. But obviously, the goal is to get it down to the bare minimum battery we need to fly for 5.5 minutes or whatever.
So that's
Where
the
do they
airplane
have you
you're
put
going to
the
fly at
battery?
Kodak, right?
Well, I was joking when I bought it. No, not half A stunt, Sam. I can't fly it in half A. That I would take it and fly it in a profile event somewhere. If I can fly a whole pattern with it, I'll go fly profile with it somewhere. Why not?
I'm sure it's gonna fly good because of its weight.
Yeah.
Where do they have you
What's
put
the
battery?
wingspan on that? 30?
I don't think it's 30. They advertised it at 42, but I think they were measuring nose to tail.
Yeah, that's not good.
32-inch wingspan. And it's 38 nose to tail. I mean, I would call this a 15-sized airplane,
Mm-hmm.
I'd put it in there with like the wing area anyway, like a magician or well, maybe like an acromaster, maybe. Probably
Yeah.
got a wing about the size of an acromaster. It's
That's
bigger
pretty
than
neat.
a junior ringmaster and it's bigger than a junior musician. But what makes it look so big is, that big profile fuse, and then it's got that as well.
Yeah.
So, it
Pretty
presents
neat.
bigger than it is.
You ever hear anything on your Axioma?
I got it. I got a new. Actually, I got an Aurora.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he sent me an Aurora. I got it. I don't know, about a month ago.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. How you like it? Is it better looking than the Axioma?
I think the wings are the same, to be honest with you, and the tails look the same. The biggest difference is the fuse is a lot skinnier. It's a lot thinner fuse.
Yeah.
That's where he took some meat off it, was in the fuselage. But,
Yeah.
unless
Well,
you
I mean,
really
they're
know
airplanes.
the difference, I think if you put the wings side by side, they're pretty identical.
Yeah.
But other than, I only took it out of the box to make sure it wasn't damaged, and it's sitting under the workbench. I won't get to that till next spring. There's no point.
Yeah.
But I'll get a video of this up as soon as when we fly it. I'll post a video.
Sounds neat.
If we get I don't have any lines for it either. That's the thing. I don't have any Spectre light enough for it. I don't want to put it on anything too heavy. Because that was the other thing in Stan's video. You know, he was flying it on like 50-pound Spectre or something like that. You could see it was dragging. It was underpowered, and the lines were curved. They were sagging
Yeah.
pretty hard. So I want to get some 20-pound. I actually was at Walmart today. I was going to buy just whatever they had, but anything they had in 20-pound was all camouflage green, and I didn't
Yeah.
want that. So I'm going to order something. But once I get some lines made up, we'll do some test flights in the backyard. I think it's going to be a winner, man. I really do. I think I can get this thing dialed in on 52s with this power package to give you all the line tension you need, and it'll do everything.
Sounds pretty neat.
Yep. Philip, you can order yours right away.
No, I doubt it. I've got a whole bunch of those political
You don't have-
signs in the back of my pickup. I'm gonna build some out of that.
I don't
Well,
think
the
it'd be
thing
the
with that
same
is
thing.
it's heavy.
Oh, I know.
If you built one, what's nice about this is, you know, it's foam, man, and it's light.
It's flexible. That's what I think's neat. New guys won't tear it up, you know, it kind of bends.
It does not
And
have an airfoil, though. I'll tell you.
Nope.
Yeah,
No.
it's a flat airfoil.
At times you can find that stuff at Hobby Lobby. And the next time I find it in quarter inch, I'm gonna bring some home.
They got it at
EPP?
Staples, don't they, Steve?
No, they don't. And I don't think they have EP. I've never seen EPP at Hobby Lobby.
No, just foam board is all they sell there.
Yeah, this stuff is like a pool noodle, Philip. It's flexible.
Oh,
Maybe not
Where-
quite as soft as a pool
where did
noodle,
I
but
see
in
that?
that vein. It doesn't really have a memory. Bend a wing or something, Mike. Show them.
Yeah, okay.
Well, just flex a little bit on something.
twang. That's
Here,
all right.
let
I
me
know
get-
what he's talking about.
Let me get
I
one.
know what he's
don't
talking
mind
about. I got
bending.
several. I
Okay.
got a bunch
All
of
right.
pool noodles. I've got pool noodles. I
Here,
know what he's
don't
talking
mind bending this one because it's going to the boneyard now. But yeah, you can.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it feels like
I wasn't thinking I could have grabbed one too and bent on it.
now that's neat. What is that?
It's a biplane called a crack pits.
Oh, that's cool. Indoor flyer.
No, he flies outside. This one's set up for 3S. But I mean, ring, you know.
Oh,
That's cool.
that's real thin.
That's cool. I
Well,
like
see,
that.
okay, Steve. Now you got me wondering. I do not think that it's the same kind of EPP on this
Really?
control line plane. I know what you're. Yeah, because I've had some Hobby King Tristianas and other flat flyers
about-
like that.
Maybe don't bend it, but can you smush it like that?
Yeah, you can
Squeeze on it,
a
see if
little,
it's got any give to it.
but it's definitely not. I think your wings are just thinner.
These are
on
just
that
a
one.
lot thinner. The biplane is than I've had a monoplane like this called the Crack Yak, and it's thicker.
Right. Yeah, the crack yak. Yeah, my neighbor has that.
Biplane is a lot thinner. This is a
And
neat
that's all-
airplane. Haven't ever had one. They fly
That's-
great.
Twisted Hobbies RC Factory stuff, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Same people that made that flash.
Yeah, they're great planes, but man, they are proud of them. They are proud of them for what they are, for the foam. It's crazy what they charge. Let me pick that up. Check that one.
I kind of consider you're paying for the convenience of something that you can take out of the box and assemble it in one evening and not worry about a finish or a color scheme or
Oh yeah. That's the hardest thing for me is coming up with a paint scheme. What I want it to look like, because once you do it, you're stuck with it.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool too. They gave you a little
Okay.
balance jig for it. You set it down and it's got a couple points so you can balance the airplane.
That is cool.
That was kind of handy. Hang on.
Hmm.
Give me wrenches. We went out and flew combat last weekend.
Yeah, last Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday Thanksgiving break.
Oh yeah, Tuesday Thanksgiving break. We got some junk down off the walls and we thinned the herd out a little bit. So now we're taking those motors and give me the other wrenches, putting them on some more airplanes that we want to thin the herd with.
What engine is on that?
That's a LA-40 on this one.
Okay. So would that be considered slow combat?
Speed limit combat. 75 mile an hour. Yeah.
25 goes on the slow, don't it?
No, you can in speed limit, which is slow combat. Any
Okay.
motor, any airplane up to a 40. So you can make a 25 go 75 miles an hour. You can make a 40 go 75 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's just how you prop it.
Yeah. I just think about all the good stunt motors that went doing that. Hey, it's whatever you enjoy. Just have fun
What is
with
the
it.
engine that gets used in the, whatever the world championship class is where they don't limit you?
Those are 15s. Those are either Fora or Cyclone 15s and
Cyclone. That was the name.
FAI Combat. Yeah, they're
Lord, they are fast.
They're dual ball bearing motors. Yeah, and they're
Cyclone, I think, makes the pylon. I used to do some RC pylon racing a little bit. Quickie 500, never the FAI class stuff, but everything was Nelson when Nelson was making engines, and when he stopped, I think that Cyclone took over.
well, these are old fast combat airplane. We just took Nelson 36s off of these. And yeah, Nelson makes the pylon motors too. I'm getting out of fast combat. I'm not going to fly it anymore. So I'm going to sell all my Nelsons. I got like 8 Nelsons, and I'm just going to get rid of them because it's too much money to have tied up in engines that we're not going to use. We have our hands in too many other cookie jars, and we only get to fly fast once a year, maybe. It's not something we can fly together by ourselves because you need another guy or 2 at least to be able to even practice it. So we're getting out of fast combat. So that's why we're converting these over to speed limit and just going to go
There
tear
you
them
go,
up.
Sparky. You could fly that in the wind out here in the winter, no problem.
No thanks.
The only time I ever got my hands on a fast combat airplane, I just did figure eights till it sputtered one good time. Then it quit absolutely inverted right at the point that should have been the intersection. I was able to bring it all the way back around. I think I was around and at the top before I realized, hey, the engine quit. It didn't slow down. Everything was so dang fast, I couldn't believe it.
The last fast combat plane that I flew, Mike Lonkey launched it for me, and it lasted one flight, and I crashed. And it was at the end of the flight, and I said, "Well, let's unwind the lines." And all I did was a brain fart for a second. And pow! It was in the ground.
That's all it takes, one of those.
And it wasn't even real
Tell us-
fast when it was just 100-mile-an-hour one.
I thought you were going to tell us it was the stunt plane you built with the 32 and the pipe.
No,
Oh, Lord. I wanted to build another Cobra.
were you there in Huntersville when I crashed my profile, Mike?
Which one?
I've only crashed twice.
The profile that was brand new?
Yep.
Yeah, I was there.
He was there.
Yeah, just like Sam there, when the elevator push rod fell off, I had zero control on it. I just watched it hit the ground.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do sometimes.
The thing I hated was the Tiger 60 went all to pieces.
I still got the liner out of it, but it's in a different case, But
Yeah.
it ruined the case.
Throw that away.
That was a brand new Brian Gardner motor that hit the ground. Oh man.
Well,
Yeah, that stings, man.
I text Brian a few days ago and told him when he gets another run of 60s, I'll take 4 of them.
It's two,
I got five
nine,
of the Super Tiger 60s and 146 Gardner 46. I think that's probably enough to last me a lifetime.
Yeah, I think 4 will do me.
You guys
I've
keep
got-
a good
I've got
list of the
51s.
estate sale
I've got
will
a
be
couple
easy to
of-
set up.
Do what?
Did you keep a nice list of everything so the estate sale will be easy?
There ain't nothing about Sparky's estate going to be easy.
There ain't gonna be no estate. Ain't nothing here.
Yeah, I got 5 of those Gardner 46 setups, and I think we still have 3 or 4 Tom Dixon 46s, but I'm going to be getting rid of those too, because the Gardner ones are just so good. There's no.
You're
Well-
talking about OS Gardner OS 46s?
Yeah. The Gardners, yeah.
And Sparky, you were talking about a Super Tiger, probably.
Right.
Correct.
I have a George Aldrich Super Tiger 46 and a Brian Gardner Super Tiger 46. And in my opinion, the Gardner is much better than the Aldrich.
Which one were you trying to use in the Profile Viper?
That's a Gardner. Problem I had with that is the fuel. The fuel I had was bad. I need some more tail weight on that airplane, so I'm going to put another quart of clear on it to balance it a little better, and I'll take it back out when it warms up. It's too nose heavy.
I think it's going to be 50 tomorrow, isn't it?
Good. Have fun.
Yeah, it's going to be 50 here, but not till 2 o'clock. We're starting at 27 in the morning. We're going to be at 50 at 2 o'clock. From 2 to 4:15 is when it gets dark. And I told him I'd take him flying tomorrow. Then I started having second thoughts about it's still going to be cold, man. 50s. It's
50's
still going to
cold.
be cold.
Yeah.
50 is
That's
cold.
all right.
We're
I
charging up
had-
some batteries to fly some RC tomorrow for like 2 hours. I guess it won't be horrible. We'll just go for like 2 hours.
I'm sitting here looking at this pilot's white gloves, and thinking of back when I was in the squadron. I don't remember pilots ever having white gloves, but I can't remember.
No,
what
they're
color
blue
they
or
were.
black.
Were they brown, green, or black?
Seen all of the above.
I'd say for 2024, you should go rainbow colored.
Yeah.
Oh no. No. Don't you go switch hitting on us there.
Derek Berry won
It's
a
the
concourse
pilot.
trophy with his gay airplane.
You don't have to worry about Sparky. It's just his little plastic pilot.
Yeah.
Oh
Berry
boy.
with his rainbow airplane.
Maybe he's just an ally. He's straight, but he's a straight pilot, but he's an ally.
Gonna get some paint work done to him.
I seriously doubt he even thought about that when he was painting that airplane. He just
Yeah, I know.
Who's
put
that?
the colors together.
What airplane did you say that was?
Derek Berry. He won
Oh, the concourse from the year before last.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was year before last or whatever, but
Yeah, this past year was Jim Aaron with the iron on covering. So I like to remind you about whenever I can. Monaco won the concourse.
yeah, well,
And
it was
before
nice.
that, it was Derek Berry.
I did
And I
not
know
see
he-
that plane fly though. Did you? Did
Yeah.
anybody see how did
Yeah,
it fly?
Monaco airplane flew good.
Okay, I didn't get to see it fly. but it was sure a pretty thing. He figured out how to make paint stick to the monocoat. I've
guess
roughed
it-
mine up and sprayed it, and it still came off. I don't know.
I think it had automotive clear over the whole thing.
It must have, because that thing was some kind of shiny. It was pretty. He
Yeah,
did a
technically
beautiful
it's
job on it.
Ultra coat, not monocoat.
I wanted
don't
to
know
pick-
if it's battery.
I wanted to pick it up and check the weight, but I never did.
It
I
wasn't
wanted to
light.
wait till he was. I wanted to wait till he was there to do it. He told me to do it, but I didn't. He wasn't over there when I was over there. But it was a pretty thing. One that made me sick was when well, now I can't think of his name. Any other time it's right on top of my head. But the twin that went in.
Rick Huff.
Rick Huff with the Vectrin motors. Vector director motor. That's cool.
Right here.
I got a buddy here who flies jet. I mean, it's a real jet engine model airplane. And he's putting the Vector director on that thing, or trying to. I think he's going to burn the tail cone off the airplane, but, let him try it.
Actually, there's some commercially available RC jets that have that vector thrust. They're doing 3D and hovering with those things now, not just the prop.
With a jet?
Yep.
Cool. I didn't know that.
If I could find you a video of one.
Well, he's got some money tied up in this thing. I know that. That little motor was, I think it's $3,000 a piece for the motors in that thing. It's got two.
That sounds like cheap ones too.
Well, he's just getting into this. This first year he's flying jets. I don't think they're cheap. I think they're used.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I don't think, I'm not saying, I was kind of joking. It's not that those are cheap, really. It's just that some of them get insanely expensive.
Oh, I've seen them $10,000 a piece.
Yep.
I don't know what the deal was on them. I think they were ceramic. Well, I mean, seriously, a BD-5J is an airplane that I wanted something awful. The motor weighs 55 pounds. And that's for the metal one. The porcelain inserted one, I think is 48 or 47, something like that, and gives 230 pounds of thrust, 200 for the metal one and 230 for the porcelain one. That's what's in the Bud Light Silver Bullet.
Sparky might know.
I mean,
But
tell you,
Edie
that's
for a while was here in St. Louis. They were at the Spirit of St. Louis Airport.
yeah. That thing was nice. I met Gunther Williams, the guy that flies it. Burner Williams. And he's an ex Blue Angels. And
Here.
he flies that thing. It's amazing. They take it apart and put it in a trailer to carry it home.
Sparky.
I can't. One guy. Say it again. One guy at a time.
Could you turn sharing on? I was going to show that jet I was telling Phil about that's got the vectored thrust. But it says sharing's not enabled yet. All right, there we go.
Holy
An
crap.
ultralight turbine-powered vector thrust J10, and it can do crazy stuff like that.
Oh my goodness.
Done?
Yeah.
Okay, please turn it off because they'll hit me with a copyright strike.
That's possible though.
You need them both?
No, I don't know why we had it.
Put that back.
Well, that's neat. That's
Yep.
neat. I did not know they had that in the model.
It's some of the stuff they're doing now is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
We can do fair use for a few seconds, but I can't play a video very long.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I kind of almost, I thought I heard you say something about that, so that's why I stopped it, but I didn't for sure hear. So that's what would happen is because you're streaming, they would copyright claim your stream or something then?
That's right. I'm copyright. I'm stealing from another channel.
Okay.
You got that from YouTube, right?
Yeah, That's Martin Pickering.
He would.
I remember down at Triple Tree, they had a guy that was doing the 3D stuff, and I went down there to see what the heck was going on, and he went to dip his tail, doing dips, and looked like flying a bi-slob the way he was doing it, and came down and dipped his rudder in the water, and he came back out and just he went on. It was a big 4-stroke engine in that thing. Well, the next guy came up, and he was going to try to do the guy one better. He put his tail in the water and then tried to do a torque roll. And he got 3/4 of the way around, and the motor glitched, and the plane went underwater.
When you guys are at
You just
Joe
sunk it.
Dahl, do you get a lot of? Is there much crossover interest? Do the RC guys come up to see the control line stuff?
Oh yeah, they come down. They come down.
I
See. They
know.
come down and watch.
I noticed that a guy he's a former world champion pattern flyer, Jason Schulman. I see that he
Yeah,
does control line contests now.
yeah. So does oh Lord, Sparky. What's the guy that?
Clean them all up.
Uh,
Wipe them down, clean them up, and we'll see.
I forgot his name. There's another one that's been. He's done everything in RC, I believe, and he's one of
Norm
never
Whittle.
mind. Who?
Norm Whittle.
Norm. Well, Norm's flying control line now. Yeah.
No,
But
Norm,
so is what's the guy, and he lives up near the Nats.
Norm Whittle flies RC and control line.
Yeah, but this
Yeah, I
I
don't
can't think of the
recognize
guy's name. There's several of them. There's several of them that fly both.
Dan Winship flies RC and control line.
Well, I fly RC and control line, but I'm not world class. I fly sailplane and control line stunt, but
the guys though that are into RC pattern, I could see them getting interested in not just control line sport flying, but the concept of a contest and flying prescribed maneuvers and all that. It's the same. You're scratching the same itch,
That's what Jason Schulman is. He came over from the pattern world,
Yeah.
and he's a pretty cool guy, man. He's
he's actually a world champion. He won the world championships.
yeah. We get to hang out with him at Joe Knoll, and we hang out with him at. He came to King Orange this year too. That's actually where I met him. He showed up at King Orange one year.
Yeah.
who is the
He
guy
didn't-
that Mark was talking about? Lives up
He didn't
near.
talk you into Futaba though, huh?
No, actually, no, he didn't. And I messaged with him quite a bit after that crash, and I told him what I was replacing the transmitter with. We bought an NX10 plus, an NX10 plus, which is a 20-channel radio, and he's like, "Dude, that's fine. I would fly any of my 40% 3D gassers on that transmitter." And I don't know if you know Ben Fisher from Extreme Flight. He's the owner of Extreme Flight that makes
No,
all this giant scale stuff. He
Right.
was like, "Look, man, don't let these guys get you in a twist about Spectrum, Futaba, JR, Jetty. If you go to Top Gun, you'll see the world's top pilots, and they're all flying different stuff, man. And they all use those brands." He said the biggest thing is there's probably more problems reported with Spectrum radios because the percentage of Spectrum radios out there is so much higher than the other brands.
Yeah.
For every 10 guys you got flying Spectrum, there's 3 guys flying Futaba or JR. So you hear more about incidents and crashes. And of course, everybody blames a crash on a brownout. So you can take probably 70% of those guys right out of the way, right off the top, because there was nothing wrong with their equipment. They just crashed the airplane, and they're blaming it on the transmitter, or the receiver. So because I was thinking of switching, I really was. I'm like, okay,
No, I was just teasing you. I agree with everything you're saying about it all.
okay, right on. But you know how they are in that world, man. They're they are diehard, brand loyal, and if they lose one airplane,
What the hell?
it's always the transmitter's fault. It's the equipment's fault, and never the pilot's fault.
Steve, what did you do?
Yeah.
Unknown. I just saw that.
Now you
Here,
look normal
I
again.
turned the video off and back on, and it fixed it. I think I did something like like this with my hat and the lighting up here. It must have confused the camera or something.
I don't know, but it sure looked weird there for a
Yeah, it
minute.
went all like a lava lamp or something.
Yeah. Have you seen those transmitters that look like, I mean, seriously, look like a game
Yeah.
transmitter?
Yeah, those don't
That's-
do much for me.
I tried one of those with a sailplane, a Supra, and I got a 10-minute flight with the airplane, and the guy says, "What do you think?" I said, "I still love the airplane. I still believe I can be competitive in any contest I've gone to with that airplane. But this transmitter, it's just a gimmick."
Who
And
left?
he said,
There's 5 of us here now. Wasn't there somebody else here?
No.
"No, that's all it's been there."
No, it was the last one in.
Because the screen is swapped around for some reason.
Yeah, Mike moved from the outside to
Yeah.
near the middle.
Mine does that too.
He's very strange. But anyway,
Yeah,
that's just
I'm wondering if Dennis is mad at us or what, because we ain't seen him in months.
It hasn't been that long. Maybe might just under a month, I think, maybe. Because he was here the night that Mike ordered that airplane. How long ago did you order that airplane?
5 weeks, maybe something.
Yeah, just so I guess just
Yeah.
over a month.
Yeah, it was maybe around Halloween time or something like that.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure he'll be back.
I give Bart Kaplinski that Mustang, P-51 Mustang. Poof, and never see him again. What happened to him?
He's probably building it, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I doubt
He's
it.
finishing the twin. He's going to finish the twin before he starts on the Mustang. No, I'll know. I think I'll know when he starts on the Mustang because I have one too, and we're going to try to build them together.
Sparky, I
At
didn't
least
know
that-
you were giving away airplanes, man.
I gave him. Mark gave me a P-51 Mustang kit and a spinner and a canopy. I mean, I was going to build it, and Bart kind of just loved that airplane, and whatever, you can have it. I should have kept it, but whatever.
Those darn spinners were hard to find there for a while. Now they're out there again now.
It's a
But
big,
boy, they ain't cheap.
about 3 1/4, 3.5 inch. Huge.
Yeah, something like that. But they got the right shape at the front. They're not pointed. They're rounded like a Mustang. It looks like a real Mustang. It's Hangar 9. Hangar 9 built the 3 IF.
This was an aluminum spinner, so whatever.
Yeah, these are. Yeah. I tell you what though, I've got a 3D printed spinner that turned out really nice. I put it on a lathe and spun it up and turned it. I had to make a mandrel for it, but anyway, turned it up and spun it down, got it sanded, and then took it and painted it. And that thing turned out really nice. I'm real tickled with it. Of course, then I turned around and went to a 2-blade prop on that airplane, trying to lighten the weight on the front end. That did make a heck of a difference in their perceived weight of the plane. That 3-blade MAC propeller. I went from that to a badass 2-blade wooden and aluminum spinner, and the handle it feels amazingly lighter on the handle.
Probably took
Really,
2 ounces of nose weight off of it, I would imagine.
well, it sure made it fly better. I'm telling you, that thing's easy to fly now. Before it was all I could do. I couldn't fly it because it was just pulling too hard. Now it's very reasonable, but I had to move the lines back. Before I kept moving them further forward, then I had to go back with them, reset the whole airplane, but it flies much better now. I'm still hoping to find time to put the Axioma together and fly it, but I hadn't done it yet. Oh, that just makes me sick. That laser was.
Hey, Steve, do you know how to do 3D printing and that kind of stuff? Are you good with CAD?
I have never messed with 3D printer, but I mean, it doesn't seem too hard. I have done some CAD work before. I'm kind of rusty, but
Do you can write G code?
no, I don't. That's a different matter. Usually, you don't.
Yeah, see,
CAD is to make a model, and then
my
if you need G
three-axis router
code,
uses G code.
right, there should be CAM software that would convert your model into G code.
Okay.
You don't manually anymore anyway. Nobody manually sits down and types out G code. Well,
Paul Taylor suggested that we have a spot on the forum to share DFX files and SVGs and some of these plotter software program cut and file. We're going to have a kind of a 1
isn't
hour
there
1 hour a week class on making this stuff with SketchUp or whatever the hell he's using. I don't remember what it's called.
that'd be cool. There's already a CAD forum there, isn't there? Or am I thinking of something else?
There
Oh,
is
there's a
one
CAD
there,
form.
but Doc Holiday don't do nothing, or is it John Miller don't do nothing with it.
I wonder where he's at tonight.
Yeah,
Where's that John?
He's probably playing Santa Claus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
John stays right busy anymore. If he's not doing a gig with his group playing the mouth harp, he's playing Santa Claus.
I'm gonna go see a man about a dog. I'll be back in a minute.
oh yeah.
There you go.
There it is.
Mike, y'all take that thing and cut it 6 inches in front of the rudder and mount it on the wall.
Well, there's that, and we still got the wings too. What's left
Oh,
of them
me.
anyway?
Yeah, how about that?
Glue them together, put an engine crutch on it, and fly it.
It took everything from the leading edge forward completely out. It was, and I mean, just gone,
Debris field.
unrecognizable. Surprisingly, the motor survived, and
Oh my goodness.
it didn't bend the shaft, and the motor is straight. But the ESC is 120 amp ESC in this airplane, and it's in a
Wow.
CNC aluminum machine case,
Yeah.
and it was bent like this.
Ouch.
It bent the ESC. The ESC still works, but it's bent. But yeah, we were pretty sick about. I mean, the airframe was only like $600, but the ESCs are like 179 for these size airplanes. The motor was 179. The motor's fine. And yeah, we lost one battery, which they're like $75 a piece. It's a 6S 6000. And all the servos are okay, which is great. Phil, when the last time you bought good servo, what'd you pay for it?
The last good one I bought, about 125.
Yeah, these are 120 a piece, man, times 4. Savage. But look at the size of those things, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a good one.
They're great. They work amazing.
So I mean, we're basically out an airframe and an ESC. So, whatever.
Could have been worse.
It is what it is. It's all part of the game. And
Hey, it could have flown away, guys. I mean, at least you got some of it back.
well, it could have been going a direction that could have been bad. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It could have went somewhere and hurt somebody. It could have, because the failsafe didn't even kick in on it. It was just completely gone.
I had a sailplane that
he didn't
I had a
dork it
sailplane that died. It
'cause
just
he
kept
was
making
doing
big
anything.
circles.
He didn't crash it because he was doing anything stupid or pilot error or anything like. So
No.
I couldn't really thump him in the head or anything like that or get pissed off at him because it really wasn't his fault, man. It really.
Yeah.
It's like when when your airplane dies at the top of the circle on the reverse wing over on
Yeah,
the wrong way,
yeah.
and you got nothing, man. There's nothing you can
Yeah,
do.
no chance.
Or it dies at the top of the clover, on the outside part of the clover, and you're screwed.
Yeah, we went and I was flying a sailplane and had put it into a right turn to try to get it into a thermal. Thankfully, the thermal kept moving and the plane missed the thermal because the radio died in the airplane. The battery went bad. The plane maintained that circle and just kept making big circles. And it finally come down. I said, "Oh, it's gonna come down in the trees over near the lake." That thing came at that one last circle. It came between two big trees and came around and came up in Hobby Park and came around and came down. I said, "Oh crap! Now it's going to fly into the trees." It landed about 10 feet short of the biggest oak tree out there,
No
but it
damage.
landed no damage.
No damage. Yeah.
I had my lucky streak. That was it.
We had a guy in Detroit chucking a gentle lady glider, RC with a power pod 049, and he hit the switch when he launched it.
Oh yeah, I've
It
seen
just
them do
flew
that
away.
too.
And we got in the car and we chased this thing for miles. And this is Rouge Park is on the edge of the city of Detroit, so it's all
Uh-huh.
home. It's an urban area with houses, and it landed at a school that had a baseball diamond, and landed right in the middle of that baseball that didn't hit a tree, didn't hit a house, didn't hit nothing, and we got it back. So
Is that where the nut house is, Mike?
no, that's Eloise. That's the Westland. You're talking about the Signal Seekers Club.
Right.
The Detroit Aero Maulers is about 4.5 miles away from there at Rouge Park. But I know where you're talking about. That's where Randy Ryan and Bob McDonald fly. I've
Yeah.
flown there too. Yeah, the Nut House. That's funny. Eloise is the Nut House. That's crazy. Eloise is the old mental institution for Detroit, and on the
Oh,
grounds
okay.
there is where they let them fly RC and control line now. You said take this and mount it in the wall. Actually, we're just waiting our turn to put it on the weather vane at the RC field. Everybody
Okay.
sticks their tail on the weather vane there, but there's
Oh, that's
already
cool.
one up there right now. So, Sam,
Yeah, that's cool.
Somebody's got there's a YouTube channel that guy builds RC planes on, and in his shop, you can see he's got 7, 8 different tails hung up like that. I presume that he's pounded into the ground.
Yeah, Sparky's got one of his P-47. That's what gave me the idea. I thought that was pretty slick.
On a plaque.
Yeah, that P-47 was one of the sharpest planes I'd seen, and Sparky had to go and crash the darn thing. Golly.
Ain't like I wanted to.
No, I saw the look on your face when it went in. You didn't want it to, that's for sure.
I blame that on John Simpson. Every time I see him, I tell him, "You cost me an airplane."
What did he
What'd
do?
John do?
He beat me by half a point, and
Oh,
I had to get him. I couldn't let it go.
John's a great guy. He's
Phil, you got me thinking about my Aurora now, so I'll go ahead and I'll pull some parts out of the box and show you guys. Just give me a minute.
pretty.
Nothing.
Wings.
Oh, very pretty. Very pretty. I like that. Well, I can't use that paint job now. Oh shit, that is the paint job. Man, that thing is pretty. I like that. That is pretty. Very nice.
I'll get to it this winter. I'll get it put together at some point.
I've had mine out of the box one time. I never did find the hardware kit to put it together, but if I don't find it when I take it out to paint it, I'll call him and I'm sure he'll send me one.
It's going to be wrapped up on the wheels, just like that.
Oh, okay.
All the
Cool
nuts
deal.
and all everything, or all the bolts.
Yeah, I
are,
never took that out, so that's probably it. Okay.
they're all M3s anyway. Everything on the airplane's an M3.
I about halfway decided to paint mine like that Chinese girl that was at the Worlds, except where hers was that pinkish color. I'm gonna do bright red.
I think you
Oh,
should
you
do
just
pink.
got a white one?
Do what? Yeah, I just got a white one.
Man,
Do
why
what?
wouldn't you just give them the $200 and have them put paint on it?
Because I'm a cheap SOB.
You're going to spend $200 in paint anyway, and time.
I know it.
You're going to spend $100 in paint and your time. He only charges $200 for a paint job.
I know. If I
They
order
say you-
another one, I'll get it painted.
You can always make more money, but you can never make more time.
Yeah, well, that's true. That was a brain fart, and I admit it, but I did it, so now I got to live with it.
If I got a white one, listen, man, you can't get appearance points for it anyway.
That's true.
Just get you some spiffy, a couple vinyl graphics made for it, and slap them on. Why paint it if it's going to be electric? Why paint it? Just put some vinyl graphics on it for a little color.
Well, I could do that.
That's what I would do. If I bought another one, I would just get a white one and put some vinyl on it and stripe the fuselage and do a little something.
I think that's what Will's doing. I think that's what Will's doing with his. I'm not sure, but that's what he was jetting. It's what he said, but now whether he meant it or not, I don't know.
Well, I've been trying to tell Will to use vinyl graphics since he got that thing because he's told me he's had that thing laid out and masked off. He told me a half a dozen times, and he can't decide what he wants to do with it. And I'm like, Will, just put vinyl on it, man. Just put some vinyl.
He'll be all right. Will's a great guy, but he's trying to do so much. I don't know how he keeps up.
He's retired, man.
He's retired now, but he's like me. It's just tired again. Don't know how I ever had time to work. I stay so blasted busy with doing things for everybody that I don't know how I ever had time to work. Vicky and I both are always chasing our tail. I'm supposed to go fishing in the morning. Think about that. When we would get on the water, it's going to be 18 degrees. The only reason the river don't freeze is because it's running water. But the last time we went, when you got in there and it's cool. You get in there and you catch a few fish and you stay about 3 hours, and that's all I could stand. My legs started going to sleep, so I came out. You go to get out and the felt on the bottom of your boots freezes. Now you're walking on ice, literally. It's not really that much fun.
They still let you guys wear felt soles there where you are, Philip?
Yeah, you have to.
I don't think they allow a felt sole in our streams here in Missouri anymore.
They probably don't, and the reason is because the bacteria from one strain can get transferred to another. Well, we usually take ours. The soles come off, and we put them in hot water. You don't really boil them. You put them in hot water. It's almost boiling, and you hold them there for 30 seconds and pull them out. Any more than that, and the backing will get soft, and they won't fit the shoe anymore. But that's the rule: 30 seconds in hot water. And that kills anything that's in there. So we're going to try to avoid it. See, I've been 2 years thinking that the game people at the lake at Blues Creek are crazy. I got jumped by a game warden, and I mean he talked dirty to me because I was putting spotted bass back in back in the lake. Those are invasive fish. Throw them on the bank. If you're not going to take them home and eat them, throw them on the bank. And how in the hell can they be invasive species when y'all put them in here? But they didn't. Somebody they said somebody got caught stopping on 158 bridge and dumping a bunch of spotted bass in there, males. If one male spotted bass gets with a largemouth bass, now you got 10,000 spotted bass. When those grow up, now you got 100,000 spotted bass, But anyway, or more. But anyway, the thing of it is, they're getting some really nice sized spotted bass in there. But they're starting to, if you've really been fishing, they're starting to get smaller and smaller because they're eating up every darn thing in the lake. And you just can't catch a largemouth in there anymore. It's rare to catch a decent largemouth in there anymore. But it is an invasive species, and I didn't know it, and I've been throwing them back. But now we're bringing them back to the dock, and we got up there the other day and threw about 10 of them over in another guy's boat. He's going to take them home and eat them. I said, well, I got a bunch of them you can have because I don't want to clean the darn things. So I gave them to him, and the game warden came over, patted me on the back, says, you're learning. Finally, my God, you're learning. So anyway, but in our bass tournament, see, we have to turn them back. But anyway, we do what we can. I don't fish tournaments.
Where I'm from, we had croaker, corvina, and sargo. And well, they had some mullet down towards the southern part of the sea. But some guy decided, well, we're going to put in tilapia to
oh God, yes,
to kind of boost the fish species in the Salton Sea. The tilapia took over the whole sea. There's no croaker, corvina, or sargo left.
No, them darn things, and they're not even I'd rather eat a croaker than a daggum than tilapia, and I don't like croaker. But tilapia that's another one that just eats everything.
Gordon,
oh, well.
What's going on?
How are you, Gordon?
You're muted.
You're muted, Gordon. Turn your mic on. You are muted. Mark Gerber came in too.
Yeah.
Turn your mic on, Gordon. We can't hear you. There you go.
Didn't unmute their mic.
There you go.
I say we went down to St. George for several days. And
good deal.
Thanksgiving for kids.
Good deal. Have a good time?
Yeah.
Good deal. Oh, look at this. He's sporting a new stash. Look at this. My goodness, Gordon.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I don't know. Good deal. Yeah, I tell you what.
Shape.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Mark Gerber, how's it going? He's already working on his Christmas cheer.
A glass of water, yeah. Good, Sparky.
Good.
Lots of Bearcat stuff to show if you're interested.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me figure out where it is.
Be ready to fly this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is where I was on Monday. And so I've been closing up the front here. So we don't have all these cavities there to collect fuel and dirt and everything else. And here's put in the balsa wood over there, and I packed in some other balsa that I carved in a curved shape in here to seal it off. That's where we are now. Last time I did this, here's what it looked like before. I put the cowling on first, and it was pretty hard to get in there to do this. So this time I'm doing it. Put this in first, and then I'll add the cowling next on top of it. So
How'd you do your cow? Did you turn it in a lathe?
yeah, I will. Um,
That's when I did mine. I didn't straighten the front end out. The little one's not got a. It's not round. So I carved took the round one and cut it and kept playing with it until I got it to the shape on the plans that fit the fuselage. But if I were doing it again, I'd probably do that. I
Yeah,
don't know if you could
I
really
actually-
fly in classic though, because that's,
Okay.
the cowl was pretty easy to turn on the lathe. I just took some sandpaper on a little sanding block, and I started to rub it down. It smoothed out real nice and
yeah, 60 grit does it fast.
took it off pretty quickly. So, and I got,
So,
I think Steve
Mark,
was
how do
asking
you-
a lot of questions last time about what Bearcat this is and all that. So I dug out some history here on Bearcats.
Oh yeah, she
Oh,
looks like a
baby.
Bearcat.
So
I
it all
like that
started-
Bearcat.
It all started in 1970 when I was at Purdue. And they used to have a magazine stand in the student union. And I checked there frequently for airplane magazines, and this one was one I picked up. And I thought that Bearcat was pretty cool, but I thought the most complicated plane I built at that point in my life was a Ringmaster. So I thought I would, maybe someday. So here's the Bearcat 1 that he published.
Yeah.
I think he opened the article saying stunt design is in a rut, and he spent a lot of time in the article explaining how the drag on the fuselage wasn't all that bad and how a good looking semi-scale plane would score well. So that was the Bearcat 1, and then he painted it like this privately owned Bearcat. It was owned by this professor at Yale. Here's the full scale plane. And this professor was killed in this airplane in 1967 before Raby actually built his Bearcat. But it's a cool looking airplane, a cool looking paint scheme. So then he moved on and thought he could make some improvements. So here's the Bearcat 3. This is what I built and am building again. This is a Pampa plan I got from Pampa Plans about, probably 6 or 7 years ago when they were still in business.
Hey, Mark, I need you to back up a minute. How did you hold that cowl, turn it on a lathe?
I don't know if I could find the picture. Let me look for it. I built a backing plate for it and I glued it onto the plate.
Oh, okay.
And then I sanded it down and I cut it off with a real thin chisel at the end. Find it here somewhere.
I think you already passed it.
Like the turning part?
On
No,
your
here we
cowl?
go.
There you go.
I haven't turned this yet. Here we go. Here's the cowling after I turned it. And here's the that's what it looks like when I was done.
Well, it
Yeah.
looks nice.
The thing I was disappointed about was when I was trying to do the inside, I didn't have a good way to get in there, as I went in by hand with sandpaper and ended up accidentally enlarging the hole more than I wanted. But I just decided to live with it. This time I won't I'm going to get a special chisel that'll get in there. So I'll have a narrower opening that'll look more like scale. I don't know if you can see this, Gordon, but this is the backing plate.
Oh, yeah.
This is a piece, several pieces of plywood I glued together, and then I glued the blanks for the cowl onto that. There were 4 pieces that were glued together. This is after I cut the cowl off, so this is after I turned it. This is what's left on the lathe after I'm done. So that's how I did it.
No, thank you.
So you turn the inside first, right?
No, I turned the outside first.
Huh.
It was difficult to get in there. So
They a trick you can do is just buy the cutter. Just buy the cutter head, and it's got a hole in it already for a screw to go through it. And then take an old screwdriver, flat screwdriver, and bend the end of it, and then mount that cutter on it. Then you can reach in there and just do what you need to do with it. It's a lot cheaper than buying that $100 chisel.
well,
I mean, if money's no object, I'd buy the chisel, but
I found one for
Hey,
$50. So
oh, okay. Well, you got a good deal on it then.
I haven't got it yet. It's on the way, but
I saw Jim Lynch on there. How about that?
yeah, Jim was a Bearcat guy too.
He sure was. He's the one got me interested in him.
So this is sort of, I don't know, I don't call it a crayon drawing, but it's more of a sketch than it is a real blueprint. But Raby says on here, there's all kinds of interesting comments on here. He says, it isn't practical to define every piece of wood in this aircraft. Building it will require imagination, intelligence, craftsmanship, and common sense. There's enough information here for a good builder to complete a molded Bearcat 3. So,
yeah.
Well, that airfoil looks pretty thin, doesn't it?
the airfoil,
Yeah, on that
This
page.
this one's actually thicker than the Bearcat 1.
Oh,
It
do you
is
know how
thick.
thick it is at the root?
I don't know the percentage off the top
Yeah,
of
no.
my head. But this airplane only has 575 square inches of wing area.
Yeah.
For a 60 size airplane, it weighed 64 ounces, 63 ounces. It flew really well. So that airfoil does its job. And then
Remember now, Al designed this thing to be flown on a 46.
yeah, he flew it on a Super Tiger 46. And here's the flap change. He redid the wing quite a bit. He increased the flap area so it's almost 25% of the wing area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, he's got the dotted line here is what the Bearcat 1 flap looked like. And then you see the Bearcat 3 one is a lot bigger, especially on the outboard part of the wing here. And then he put the shock gear on the plan, but he didn't actually put it on his Bearcat 3. In 1970, he flew it with the regular gear. And the famous story is he bounced the landing and ended up with a whole bunch of bounces. And Keith Troussel got first place by a few points, and so Raby blamed his second place finish on the bouncing of the Bearcat. So the next year he started working on his. Well, here's the one picture I have of the Bearcat. I don't really have a good one. Dennis Adamis had sent me this one. This is a cool looking plane. And then Jim Lynch, a few years later,
Jim Lynch.
built one and flew it at the Nationals. This is a Bearcat 3. You can see the flap goes all the way out. And Jim, as you all know, is a really good builder and flyer, so I'm pretty sure did it justice.
Oh, it was beautiful.
I'm holding here a December 99 Stunt News, and it has a write-up of Al Rabe and his Bearcats and all this stuff in it.
Yeah, that's where I
Yeah.
got a lot of this information. Anyway, following that, he went to the Sea Fury, and he didn't get back to Bearcats for quite a while. And he did a bunch of Mustangs, as you I think you all know, and he won the world championship with one of them. And then about, I think it was around 1990 or 1989, he,
Al never won the Worlds.
yeah, he did. I think.
No, I don't think Al ever won the Worlds. He went to the Worlds with a Mustang because
He
he
got
crashed
really
his.
high. He placed really high with it, didn't he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
he
placed
got
well
second in he got second in the worlds. I'm sorry, yeah. In '78, he got second in the worlds.
because Bob Hunt won.
But anyway, he had some personal problems. He's divorced his wife, and his airline went out
Having a
of
lot of
business.
trouble.
Braniff went out of business.
Yeah.
He ended up having to move to. He got remarried. He ended up moving to Saudi Arabia, and he didn't come back into the hobby for almost 20 years. And then when he came back, and he built another Bearcat 3, and he really liked that one, and that's in that article you're talking about.
What is that trophy he's holding right there with that Mustang? That's not the Walker Cup.
I don't know for sure. I have that article here this afternoon. I was looking through it, and I took it back downstairs, so I don't have it
I
here to
didn't think
refer
he
to.
won the Nats until I thought the first time he won the Nats was with the Sea Fury. That airplane's on the picture. The
Yeah, I
second
think
time he won was with the Mustang.
Yeah, and then Dennis had a mission beat him for the Walker Cup, right?
Yep, he sure did. Well, that little red job of his. That was
Anyway,
the year he flew the Sea Fury. Yeah.
He came back into the hobby in the late '90s, and built a Bearcat 3 was the first thing he did. And then he started to build a bunch of these larger Bearcats, the BBQB. Here's one of them. And he used like a 76 size motor. I don't know what the wingspan was, but I think it was bigger than.
It's a 72, Sato 72 four-stroke. Yeah.
Yeah. And he built a whole bunch of variations on this airplane. But they were all bigger, and he didn't really compete, I don't think, did he?
No, never competed with it.
I know he brought one of them out to VSC because I saw him out there one year with it.
Well, that was the one like yours. That was a 3, and it was powered by a PA 61. Yeah, that was a neat airplane. Though he flew it well.
You know, years ago,
That's Keith's.
Al Raby, that's Keith Russell's.
Yeah,
Al Raby called me and wanted to stop by and see me because he had a flight when he was captain on Braniff. And he left me a whole bunch of black and white pictures of his Bearcat and his Sea Fury and his, what was it, the Mosquito, the twin engine Mosquito?
No, Hornet, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Hornet he started building, but he never finished it.
I've got one. I thought it might have been a Hornet. I thought it was a Mosquito.
No, it's a Hornet. Trust me. I tried talking him out of plans to it, and he wouldn't.
Yeah, the picture I have is the airplane's not covered. It's just a
it's hanging on the wall. Yeah, last picture I have of it's hanging on the wall.
It's a Hornet, de Havilland Hornet twin, and here's a picture of it right here.
Yeah. Yep, that's it. Oh, it didn't share very well, but anyway.
Hold up, Sparky. Start talking so your picture gets big.
Let me.
There you go. There's Easy 2 Sugar, the one that crashed right before the Worlds.
Yeah.
And let's see. Spotlight for everyone. There we are.
There you go.
There it is right there.
That thing was going to have retracts and twin OS 35s.
Doesn't have propellers on it. I don't think he ever finished it.
No, he didn't. I talked to him a year before he died, and it was still on the wall. He wanted to finish it and get Keith Trostle to fly it.
But here we have what happened? Are you sharing? There we are.
What do you got, Sparky? Oh, this is the
This is all of Al's models here.
Yeah,
this
it's a
is
take apart
Bearcat 3 that
Bearcat.
he built after he came back in the hobby. I think, right?
You know what he did when he came back from overseas for money for a few years? Got a stereo shop. I stopped in to see him one time in Dallas. He had a stereo shop. I darn near came home with a bunch of stereo equipment. He was a mess, I'm telling you. He was a great guy.
Anyway, about 1999 or so, Keith Russell got interested in building a Bearcat, and he built a Bearcat 1. I think most of you have seen this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
John
seen the
Jordan
model.
has the exact copy of that.
And Keith planked the fuselage. He was a scale builder, is a scale builder, and I guess he felt comfortable with planking, so he planked the whole plane on the fuselage instead of molding it or trying to carve it. He planked the fuselage, and he made a number of other improvements. He used the Prather pin hinges, and he put his version of the Raby rudder on it. So they had a little tray in here that slides back and forth. You've seen the one I'm working on right now.
Cam actuated.
Yeah, and Keith had this plane for like 20 years. There's Al Williams with the original, which only lived for about 18 months before he landed with the gear up. And
He must have been really small to fit in Keith's airplane.
Yeah. Did he get killed in that airplane?
Yeah. No, he wasn't killed. I'm sorry. It burned up, but he got out of it in time.
Yeah, there was four of them I know that were privately owned, and all four of them ended up crashing. There was the Gulf Hawk and the one that Keith Minner had. Then there was the oh, what the heck was the name of it? It had a stripe that came off the fuselage in front of the canopy. It came down and came back, and it was the 100, and it was had a P on it. It was a P or a B, I can't remember. I think maybe it was a B for the Boxer. But anyway, that guy was killed in his. And then the fourth one was God, I can't remember what it was, but the guy had a near crash landing in it, and he ended up taking the plane and selling it. It became a racing airplane. I've heard rumors that it was actually the famous one. I forgot the name of it now. Can't call the name of it now, but anyway. But it's there for a while. They figured that the Bearcat was a pilot killer.
Well,
The
they
pro-
had a
the
pretty high
problem with
accident
those-
rate in the Navy, too.
Yeah, the problem with those
Hold
airplanes.
on a second, Phil. Hold on. I got to get to this chat thing. They're saying
Okay.
they're ignoring us. No, we're not ignoring you. It's just that I don't run that window open and I can't see you. They're asking, how do you get here? And you have to be a member of Stunt Hangar, and you go to at the bench, and there'll be a link in there. PTA, Paul Taylor says that it's a Zoom call. It's free. And let me see here. We got 6 minutes to go, but in 6 minutes, I'm going to be ending the stream here. So if you got anything to say it now. All right, go ahead, guys. Till Steve.
Okay. Well, here's the rest of it of what I got, which is
Oh, wow.
this is the aircraft carrier my dad was on during the war, the USS Monterey. And
There you go.
in the early 50s, they got the Monterey out of mothballs and used it for training down at Pensacola. And so Keith Russell was talking to me one day at the field around the summer of 2020. He says, "You should build a Bearcat." And he started to tell me all about how to do it. And I even went to his house. He showed me his orange one that had been crashed, but he could show me the rudder mechanism and give me a whole lot of other advice on how to build it. So that's when I started my first project. And usually what I do is I try to draw up a piece of artwork that shows what it's going to look like, sort of to inspire me. And I also got a plastic model and painted that up like I was planning to paint the real thing. And then I drew the plans up on CAD. So this is the same basic outline as the sketch one that Pampas sold. And I had the fuselage and a wing. This was an awful lot of work, and I'm still refining it from time to time to reflect the as-built. But you've seen all the
I want a set of those plans. That's sharp. Wow. Nice.
anyway. You've seen where I am. There were a lot of questions last time. I think about which Bearcat is building and the Bearcat 2 versus the Bearcat 3, and
Yeah. I finally found out what a Bearcat 4 is. I don't remember. I've got the
I haven't
guy's
heard of
name
a
with me.
Bearcat 4. What's a Bearcat 4?
The Bearcat 4 is a Bearcat 3 with cuffs. There's exactly one of them built according to Al. And the guy was in shoot, I forgot. No, I forgot where he is. But anyway, there was one of them built, and the guy said it was a whole lot of extra work for the difference in performance. But it had cuffs. The fuselage was taller. You know, the 2 and the 3 are both, the fuselage has been taken down a little. It's up full scale like the BBQB, and it's well, that was it as far as I can remember. The fuselage was bigger, and it had cuffs. The rest of it was a 3. And he said there was one of them built. The guy said it just didn't fly well enough to be worth all that extra trouble.
Okay, let me get to the chat here. They're trying to tell Lonky something, and I'm getting ready to shut this off. It's from Stein Balagi, and he says, "Please tell Lonky that Stan will see him at the Northwest Regionals. It's on the way home."
That's my old skydiving buddy, Stan.
And then Pete says, "Check your PM, Sparky." Let me tell you something, guys. When you're doing this thing, and I really apologize. I need to get somebody to watch the chat on YouTube, because when I have the video open so that I can watch what's happening with the stream, I can't see the YouTube chat. But it is 9 o'clock, and it's time for us to shut down the YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you again on Monday, I suppose. All right, I see we got some hearts there. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See you.
Take care,
See ya.
Sparky.
Okay, now that the YouTube stream is over, I'm going to turn this over to